Hey everybody, this is Tammy at All About Living, and today we're going to make pork and sauerkraut. I learned to make this like 35 years ago or something. I went with Randy up to visit his aunt in Ohio around New Year's, and pork and sauerkraut apparently is a big thing in Ohio. And well, I had never ever had that, and I was telling her, I said, we always have black-eyed peas and rice. That's what we have here in the South. And we went to 6 grocery stores in Ohio trying to find black-eyed peas, and at the very last store we found one 1-pound bag. So I taught her how to make black-eyed peas, and she taught me how to make pork and sauerkraut. And it's easy. My entire family no, I take that back. I have one child who does not like sauerkraut, but the other 4 absolutely love it. We love it. I don't just have it at the holidays. We pretty much have it probably once a month because, you know, you can buy Boston butts fairly reasonable still. And what I do is I'll buy one boneless, and then there's just Randy and I, so I cut it in 3, and then I have 3 pork roasts to do whatever I want to with. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, this is all you will need to make pork and sauerkraut. You need a piece of pork, you need some sauerkraut, you need some applesauce, you need some brown sugar, and you need salt and pepper. That is it, and it is absolutely the best pork and sauerkraut you will ever eat. She does a great job, and I have done a great job for 35 years, so I know this recipe is king. Okay, to get started, all we're going to do is take this piece of pork roast here, and we're going to salt it. Y'all know I love kosher salt, so that's what it is. And we're just going to coat it all the way around. Alright, and then we're going to pepper it. And I like to use fresh peppercorn, but any kind of work. Actually, my favorite is the mixed peppercorn, but I'm out. So this one will have to do. Just make sure you go all the way around and get that pepper on there. Whatever side of pork you're putting in there has the most fat on it, that's the side you want up. And we're going to just sit that right there in the center of our crock pot. We're going to put the lid on it. And we're going to put it on slow cook. Okay guys, we're back. Our 3 hours are up, and we're going to get this put together. So this sauerkraut, I'm not going to butcher the name, but that's the kind we like. It's at Aldi's. It's still less than $2. When I first started buying it, it was like $1.25. Now it's up to like, I think $1.88 or something. It's still less than $2 as of last month when I bought this one. But it's so good. This label comes off. It's a pretty jar and a pretty little checker top lid. I use these all over the kitchen like little canisters. They're great. Okay, well, we're going to start with that. We're going to put that in our bowl. I'm going to use my handy dandy Spurtle because that makes it easier to get it out, believe it or not, because I drained it. You need to drain the juice off of your sauerkraut. It's probably not necessary, but I do. Let's get all that goodness out of there. We're going to add our applesauce. It's a 15-ounce can of applesauce and a half a cup of brown sugar. And we're just going to stir that up. Get it well combined. Make sure that sugar is incorporated through it. I mean, you don't have to be like perfect. You just want to get it combined good. And we're at that stage. Doesn't take but a minute. Now we're going to open our crock pot and we're going to drop in this goodness. Put it all around it, on top of it. And you don't necessarily have to do this in a crock pot. It absolutely will work in the oven. You just need to have a lid on it or aluminum foil or something over it so that you're not browning or overcooking that pork. And there you have it. A couple of hours. I'll make me some mashed potatoes. And dinner is ready. All right, everybody, we're back. My slow cooker has cut off, so I'm just going to let it sit there, and we're going to start some potatoes for mashing. They're red potatoes, so I don't have to do anything but wash them and cut them, and I've done that. All right, in this pot, I have what is the beginnings of mashed potatoes. I have some red potatoes, and I just cut them up in little squares so it wouldn't take so long for them to cook. And they're just sitting in salt water with about probably a teaspoon and a half of salt. And we're going to let that come up to a boil and cook those potatoes. And then I'll show you how to make mashed potatoes. Okay, sometimes you'll end up with little bubbles coming out where your water's getting a little too high. If you'll just move that pot lid just a little so that that steam will escape, then your water won't bubble over onto your stove. So we're just going to leave it like that and let it finish. Okay, time's up. We're going to see. Now they're done. The fork just pierces them and breaks them up. That means they're ready to make mashed potatoes. So now we're going to do a little magic trick and drain the water off. Our potatoes are drained. I'm going to turn that heat down to a medium low. I'm going to set those potatoes right back on there. I'm going to add about 1/4 of a stick of butter. And about 1/4 of a cup of milk. Some pepper. We like a lot of pepper. You don't have to put that much. It's all relative. And remember, we cook these mashed potatoes in salt water, so I'm not going to go crazy with the salt. I'm just going to sprinkle a little just to make sure that I got salt. And then we're going to proceed to mash. Right there on the stove. So they stay nice and hot. Alright. While it's... That way when you add that cold butter and that cold milk, you're not dropping the temperature on your potatoes. And they'll be warm when you plate up your food. Now, we don't like our potatoes like smooth, like where you need a mixer to do it. We just kind of clump them up like that. that is the way we like our potatoes. Nice and lumpy. If you want to keep beating and blending, that's entirely up to you. But we're ready, and I'm going to turn this off now. Okay, now we're going to take this pork out and set it there. It's not absolutely necessary, but I want you to see how tender this is and how easy it falls apart. And what you want to do is just separate it. Look at there. Tender. Perfect. Alright, get that. Just in, bite-sized, nice pieces. And then we're just going to pick it right back up. Alright, we're going to just take this pork and put it right back in the pot. And then stir it all in. Way every bite has some meat. Every bite has some sauerkraut. All that yummy goodness. Now we're going to plate it up. Okay, we're going to get us a good little mashed potato pile. And I'm going to use the same spurtle, and I'm just going to reach in there and grab some of that pork and sauerkraut. And there's our dinner. And like, subscribe, and share, and come back and see me. Y'all have a good night. Bye.